Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with a review of the Creative Outlier Gold. So this is their $100 solution, their midway entry point into the audio world. They've been making sound products for a long time. If you're very familiar with Creative, then you're aware that they make lots of stuff for computers like the Sound Blaster. They've been making a lot of different sound cards for a really long time. They were like the apex of sound cards for forever. Well, they also make other consumer audio products like earbuds. So these right here have 14 hours of total playtime, depending on how you listen to them, aka volume and the type of music you listen to, up to 39 total hours of listening time with the built-in battery bank, which is the carrying case, and all sorts of other good things. Qualcomm aPTX support, AAC support, IPX5, all sorts of wonderful things, all packed into a $100 price tag. So let's go ahead, dive in, and take a look at the Creative Outlier Gold. Now, before we go any further, I do want to say if this is your first time here to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell down the bottom so you can get notifications for the latest videos. Now, with that being said, let's dive in and take a look at the Outlier Golds. All right, so here we are up close and personal with the Creative Outlier Gold. Now, before I go any farther, I do want to say that these were sent out as a review unit from Creative. This is not sponsored. They're not getting to see this before you are, and I'm not being compensated for this anyway. Now, on the box, you see the Super X5 software logo there. They did win a number of awards for their product at the 2019 CES. It does a lot of cool stuff. It does like face or head and ear mapping so you can get a more customized listening experience. And I can say that it works really, really well. Unfortunately, it only works with locally stored content. It doesn't work with streaming services or yeah, it only works with whatever you have downloaded on your phone or whatever device you're listening to, which is kind of a drawback because it works really well. And I'll talk more about that later. Now, it does have 14 hours of listening time per charge, which is just absolutely amazing. A total of 39 hours of playtime overall. Graphene drivers for low power consumption and great performance. Bluetooth 5.0, Qualcomm aPTX, and AAC support, which is really, really good. Something that I would expect in a set of $100 earbuds. It does have IPX5 sweat resistance. You've got stereo phone calls, and you can use the Siri or Google Assistant simply by pressing the button on the earbud twice when you're not listening to music. And that's kind of another drawback that's a little irritating. It only works when you're not listening to music. If you are listening to music, it does music functions. So, I mean, I guess it's great that it does that, but it would be kind of nice if they just had the global like tap three times like other earbuds so it would access Siri or Google Assistant at any time. Now, the presentation in the box is pretty straightforward and simple. They didn't do anything too flashy with the packaging, but this gold colored carrying case is nice. It's a little on the unique side because it slides out. Um, haven't seen that yet, so that's kind of cool. It's got the battery indicator. It also tells you um, if the left or the right one's charging, so you don't have to worry about that if you put it in there. If you look on there, you can see that they're charging, and the battery LED indicator is not the greatest. You get two colors: you get blue or you get red. If it's blue, that means it's between 30 and 100%, and if it turns red, then that means that you're under 30%. So not too helpful there, but at least they ballpark it. Now you can see you got a slot there for the USB-C charger, which is nice, and it even comes with a little USB-C cable. You get your earbud tips that come with it, which are fine. I mean, they work great. You get mediums and smalls. It would be nice if there were some larges in there. So they work out great for people like me who don't have the largest ears in the world. But I don't really know why they didn't just put small, medium, and large in there versus just these two sizes and giving you two sets of them. So why they did that, I don't know. But I mean, you get two sets of those, which is fine. But it kind of leaves you out in the wind if you want a larger size. But they work perfectly fine for me, though. Now, the controls are pretty nice and simple. You can press and hold on either the left or the right for volume down and volume up while you're listening to music. And you can press two times on the left to go back a track and press two times on the right to go forward a track. So pretty straightforward and simple there. Um, Yeah, not really a whole lot going on in the way of craziness with the buttons, but they do work. They are a little difficult to press, and that's a little disappointing. They do go down into the ear canal fairly well, so they're nice and sturdy. But you really got to push on the buttons a little bit too hard, I think, and it kind of pushes the earbuds down even more. And I'm not really a big fan of that, but kind of is what it is with the buttons that are on here. All right, so here we are with our wear test, and you can see that they go in nice and easy. You don't have any problems with these moving around. They're not going to fall out. They pretty much occupy the entire ear space there, which is great, not only for a secure fit, but also for sound isolation and for comfort. All right, so talking about the sound experience and the performance on the Creative Outlier Gold. I think the biggest thing that I have to say about these is that they could have been tremendously amazing, and then they just came in at great. So I listened to them. I listened to them a lot. I mean, they have 14 hours of playtime. I didn't actually run the battery all the way down because I'm never in a sitting where I'm going to be listening to my music for 14 hours. So I put them back in there, but they last all day long while I'm at work for 8 hours. So that's cool. Um, yeah, so these come with their special Creative X-Fi sound app, and it makes these earbuds go from being great earbuds to absolutely amazing earbuds. And the sad part about it is that it only works for music that you have downloaded onto your phone. So it doesn't work as a global equalizer. It doesn't work with music apps. It only works with locally stored music files. So it's kind of annoying because you listen to these and they have an overall good listening experience. I mean, I'm talking like a 7 or an 8. I mean, for $99, they're really good earphones. But that XFi app with the localized tuning, it maps your ear, which that whole ear mapping part is kind of annoying. You basically have to hold the camera on your phone to try and get an image of your ear so that it can map it. uh, it's best if you have somebody to help you. I was trying to do it, and it took me like 10 minutes trying to get this thing right. So yeah, so the XFi app, it's so good. I listened to regular music, and then I had a couple locally stored files on there, and I went and I listened to them, and it's like a mind blowing experience, like completely different set of earphones. And then you go back to the regular ones, and it's like, why can't I have that music all the time? So great power, great performance. They only have like 5.8 millimeter drivers, so they are a little weak when it comes to the bass. And I don't want to say that the bass is not there. The bass just doesn't, it doesn't have any depth, and it doesn't have a whole lot of punch. So if we're talking about like the way it hits, I mean, it has a lot of jabs. It has good quality, consistent bass. It throws a left hook every once in a while, but it doesn't have any haymakers. It doesn't have any serious oomph behind the bass. The mids are good. These are very, very well tuned for mids. They're great for vocals. They're great for a lot of different instruments. Great for guitar. They do get a little muddy sometimes when the music is busy. Probably the best illustration I can give of this is listening to heavy alternative rock or alt rocks. Like if you like to listen to Linkin Park, Linkin Park makes amazing music. One of my most favorite bands of all time. And if you have a really good sound system, you can hear everything. It sounds great. But if you don't have a really, really great individually tuned setup sound system with clear, distinct highs, mids, and lows, and separate drivers, or separate channels, talk about two-way, three-way speakers, and like if you're in a car audio or whatever, then you're going to lose out. But it's good. I mean, it keeps up with most other headphones, earphones that are around the $100 range. So I'm not going to ding them there, but definitely some other earbuds do it better with their, dual driver setup. Separate drivers is better, but just trying to force everything out of these small little 5.8 millimeter drivers, it just doesn't translate into the most clear and articulate music sometimes. But for 90% of the music that's out there, it's going to be good. Highs, the highs come in a little faint. Now, I don't want to say they're not distinct because you can hear them, but they're a little on the soft side. So you get the hi-hats and then you get the cymbals and stuff like that, and you can hear them, but at the same time, it's just not enough power behind it, and all that comes back around to the small drivers, 5.8 millimeters. I mean, it's good, it's better than adequate, sometimes even approaching great, but not quite to the excellent category. So if this were on like a 1 out of 5 scale, I give them like a 4.2 when it comes to an audio experience. But overall, they're very pleasant. They're very comfortable. You can wear them for a long time. They're very similar to in-ear monitors. They go down into the ear canal, so you have good sound isolation. There's no active noise cancellation, so you don't get that. And they don't have the CVC noise cancellation for phone calls either. The phone calls are okay. You get nice stereo sound, but it's not the most clear or polished or refined, sound. It kind of sounds like you're talking on like 2 or 3 year old earbuds as opposed to like, you know, 2019, 2020 earbuds. So the overall experience is okay. You can hear just fine. There's good volume. It's just not the most amazing sound whenever it comes to call quality. It's just kind of plain. It's just that, there's been other ones I've listened to that have done it better. But overall, good sound experience, great sound experience, really. And I think that it's worth the $99. Yeah, there's some other different earbuds that definitely are worth that price point as well. But they're good. They're novel. There's a great history behind the Creative Labs people. They've been making the Sound Blaster sound cards for like ever and a day. So they got a lot of stuff going for them. They know what they're doing when it comes to audio. I just wish they would have translated that over to a more global equalizer like Soundcore. Soundcore's got a great global equalizer. These guys right here with this Super X-Fi software, probably the most productive and best software that I've ever seen as far as enhancing the overall sound experience. It just doesn't translate over to streaming audio or a global equalizer. So that's on the frustrating side because they can be so amazing. But other than that, I mean, you got your aPTX support, you got your AAC support, works equally well with Android and Apple. You have basically no latency that's detectable whatsoever. You get good digital audio compression, you get good sound isolation. There's no active noise cancellation. These kind of get loud enough and they have good enough sound and they sit down well enough in the ear with the sound isolation that it's not that big of a deal. But if you're on like a plane ride or a bus or something that just has this long drolling on road noise, like if you're in the car or something, you're definitely going to notice that they don't have noise cancellation. But just for listening to them, going to the gym, whatever, they're solid. And they've got IPX5 dust and water resistance too. Sorry, IPX5 water resistance. There's no dust moniker on there. But yeah, that's it for the Outlier Golds. I think that they're good. I think that they're worth the $99. The only other complaint that I have is the buttons kind of suck. And I hate using that terminology, but they really aren't very good. They push into the ear. They're not easy to press. You really have to push on the things. And then also you can't use it individually. So the right one is the main controlling earbud and the left one is the accessory. So if you take the left one out and put it in the case, it's fine. The right one will still work. But if you take the right one out and leave the left one in, then it'll shut off. So again, that's like an early 2019 problem. So if there's a 2020 upgrade to these, it is probably going to be really, really fantastic. But these, with the age that they have on them now, and some of the other stuff, they're really good, great sound quality. Just not the absolute best that I've seen out on the market, but for $99, definitely worth it. So that's all I've got on my review of the Creative Outlier Golds. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I'll get back with you. As always, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell for all the latest and greatest. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.